The boy who chased cherry blossoms. Cherry blossoms fluttered around them, delicate and weightless, yet they carried a strange heaviness in the air. Vivan watched as Aiko traced the old tree's bark with quiet reverence, as if she understood something he didn't. "You seem lost in thought," he said. Aiko smiled, tilting her head slightly. "Perhaps I am, or perhaps I'm just trying to understand something." Vivan raised an eyebrow. "And what's that?" She hesitated, as if choosing her words carefully. "The way people connect, even across distance, how someone can become part of your life without ever being physically there." Vivan felt a strange pull in his chest. "You mean Hiroshi-san?" Aiko nodded. "Yes, you speak of him like family. It's rare to see such a bond form over just words and time." Vivan glanced away, exhaling slowly. "During the hardest days of my life, his words gave me direction. I don't know if I would have made it through without them. He saw something in me, something I didn't see in myself." Aiko's gaze softened, but she said nothing. For a while they stood in silence, listening to the soft rustling of the trees. Then unexpectedly, Aiko turned to him with a playful glint in her eyes. "Since you're new in town, would you like to see more of Japan through the eyes of someone who has lived here forever?" Vivan chuckled. "Are you offering to be my guide?" Aiko shrugged. "Let's just say, I have a feeling you're supposed to see certain things, and I wouldn't want you to miss them." Something about the way she said it made Vivan pause. There was an odd certainty in her voice, as if she knew something he didn't. "All right," he said finally, "lead the way." Aiko's lips curved into a knowing smile. "Then let's go to Fushimi Inari Shrine." Vivan frowned slightly. "The one with the red torii gates?" "Yes," she said, her voice quieter now. "It's a place of transition, of moving from one path to another. I think you'll understand once we're there." As they walked side by side through the winding paths of the garden, Vivan couldn't shake the feeling that Aiko was in his life for a reason. She was a stranger, and yet she wasn't. And for the first time in a long while, he wasn't sure whether he had found his path, or if the path had found him. To rolling hills, from neon lights to misty forests. Japan had a way of blending the modern and the ancient, just as this journey seemed to blend something new with something deeply familiar. Aiko sat beside him, gazing out of the window, her expression unreadable. "You've been here before?" Vivan finally asked. Aiko nodded. "Many times, but each visit feels different. The shrine doesn't change, but we do." Vivan let her words settle. He was beginning to notice that Aiko never said things without meaning. They arrived at Fushimi Inari Shrine, just as the afternoon light softened. The famous torii gates stretched endlessly before them, a winding path of red-orange wood leading into the heart of the forest. Vivan stood at the entrance, feeling the weight of the place. "It's beautiful," he murmured. Aiko walked ahead, running her fingers along the smooth wooden pillars. "They say these gates represent choices. Every step through them is a step towards something new." Vivan followed, his footsteps careful, as if crossing an unseen threshold. The world beyond the first gate felt different, quieter, heavier, as if time had slowed. The further they walked, the more he felt something stirring inside him. "You said this place is about transition," he said. "Do you think we always know when we're at a turning point in life?" Aiko glanced at him, her dark eyes unreadable. "Not always. Sometimes we only realize it when we look back." They walked deeper into the shrine, the torii gates closing in around them like a tunnel of memories yet to be made. Every so often, Vivan would see small wooden plaques tied to the gates, prayers, wishes, hopes left behind by strangers. "Would you write a wish?" Aiko asked, stopping by a small stand where wooden plaques, eating eme, hung in rows. Vivan hesitated. "I don't know what to wish for." Aiko picked up a wooden plaque and handed him a brush. "Then write what's in your heart." He stared at the blank wood for a long time before finally writing, "Thank you, Hiroshi-san, for showing me the way. I hope I can do the same for someone, someday." Aiko read it quietly, then nodded. "A wish that isn't for yourself. Those are the ones that always find their way back to you." Vivan smiled, tying the plaque onto the rack. "And what about you? What would you wish for?" Aiko hesitated, then picked up a plaque. With slow, deliberate strokes, she wrote something in Japanese before tying it up among the others. Vivan tried to read it, but she turned away before he could. "Some wishes," she said softly, "are meant to stay unanswered for now." The wind rustled through the trees, carrying the distant sound of a temple bell. Vivan wanted to ask more, to understand her, but something held him back. Instead, they continued walking, the gates stretching endlessly before them, each one a silent promise of what lay ahead. And as they stepped forward, Vivan couldn't shake the feeling that Aiko wasn't just showing him Japan. She was guiding him towards something he had yet to understand.